Hi guys, welcome back to 100% Marks. So I hope you're all staying safe and well out there. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at a few players that I would love to see join Newcastle United. Some of these players that I will mention in today's video have already been linked to Newcastle, or Newcastle are already looking at them. So that is a plus to begin with. So starting off on, of course, the first player that I would love to see join Newcastle United, and the one that I'm putting at the top of my list to join Newcastle United, is Dominic Szoboszlai of RB Leipzig. Now, he is an absolutely fantastic player. What a player he is. I've watched him play, of course, in their recent game, and wow, he was absolutely fantastic. The work rate that he put in the game, and he even managed to score a goal as well in the game as well to, get that trophy for his team. And it was his last game as well, as quite a few people are saying that he is on the way out, and the RB Leipzig hierarchy want him gone as well after recent comments saying that he wouldn't mind joining a bigger team, and he would feel kind of upset if he didn't think about joining a bigger team before his career is out. Obviously, he's only a young player, but he is thinking ahead, and that is great to see, a player doing that, thinking ahead and thinking about their career in themselves, and not only just, thinking about the team. Obviously, that is something brilliant to see, because that means that he is willing to strive for to be the absolute best. And of course, he is very interested in a move to Newcastle United as well. So for me, that is just absolutely fantastic to see somebody of this caliber, somebody of this ilk, willing to make a move from the German league to come to Newcastle United. And I mean, he's not exactly doing the same sort of move as what Kieran Trippier or Bruno were doing when Newcastle were fighting a relegation battle and they were coming in, but he is still taking that step away from a comfort zone to come to probably one of the best leagues in the world, in the Premier League, which everybody knows is a tough league to hit the ground running in. But I believe this lad has all the ability to do that. I mean, he's an absolutely fantastic player, and he's got that certain Newcastle United vibe about him as well. That, I'm just absolutely loving the shitehousery from him on social media, the way he posts things, and them photos as well with him holding the cup up, or the cups up, and taking the mick out of the opposing team is just absolutely brilliant. That's what we like to see. We've seen it with Jacob Murphy this season, with the shitehousery moments, and it's just brilliant to see that sort of vibe going around in the team. So I think he will fit in very well with Newcastle United, and I do believe, he is very highly regarded on the top of our list as a player to be looking at coming into Newcastle United in this window ahead. Another player that I would love to see, and obviously this one is a player that we have been linked with in the previous windows as well, and that is James Maddison. I mean, there's not really much else to say about James Maddison other than that he is Premier League proven, and the way he scores goals and assists goals as well. So it is a player that, will definitely be on the list of many Newcastle United fans to see join in this window. And with Leicester going down as well out of the Premier League, I do believe that is now a massive boost for us to be able to get somebody like James Maddison to come to Newcastle United for even less money than what was quoted originally for James Maddison. And of course, at one point there was rumours saying that his head was turned by London in a move to Tottenham. But of course, as we all know, Tottenham don't quite have the setup down there yet, with their manager only just being announced, which is Postecoglou, I believe it is pronounced, from Celtic, the Celtic manager. He's going to be going in there as the manager for Tottenham, but they still don't have a director of football, so they're still not fully set down there. So that could be a turn off for James Maddison. And of course, James Maddison wants to play Champions League football as well. And at the moment, the only team that seems to be interested in James Maddison and has Champions League football is ourselves. So that again is a massive boost in a player that I do believe we will be seeing wearing a Newcastle United shirt by the end of this transfer window. Moving on, of course, to another player that I'd like to see, of course, is none other than Tomori of AC Milan. Now, this is where it could be an interesting situation, as there is a player from Newcastle United that could be on the way out, according to the comments that he made recently, and that player, of course, is Maxi. We'll do a separate video talking about, of course, players that I do believe will leave in this summer window, but as of now, I believe Maxi is a one that will be leaving. So a little bit of a spoiler for, of course, that video, which will be coming out on the channel. But I think this is where we could benefit hugely if Maxi does leave, because AC Milan do want Maxi, and of course Newcastle are targeting Tomori as a player to come in and be a sort of a replacement for Fabian Schär, somebody that can play more regularly, and Schär, of course, coming off of the bench instead of playing first team all the time. Also to allow Schär, of course, to rest up in games instead of having to play all season long like he has done for most of the season, of course. So this is a player that could definitely see joining Newcastle United if, of course, we were to be able to pull off some sort of move with Maxi going in the opposite direction, and us probably paying some money for Tomori, or AC Milan paying money for Maxi with them handing over Tomori. But I think it would be the other way, to be honest. I think it would be the first, with Newcastle handing over Maxi plus some money for Tomori, and I just don't see any problems with that, to be honest. Yes, it would be nice to keep Maxi, but if the lad wants to move on and he wants to go and try his hand somewhere else, then, you know, who are we to stop him from doing that? Plus, you know, that means that he isn't going to really commit to playing for Newcastle United. So, you know, that's something that I'm not really for. If a player doesn't want to be here, then, you know, we should move them on. We shouldn't try and keep a hold of them, because that's just going to put a negative feeling on the dressing room, and that's something that Eddie Howe doesn't want to do. He wants to keep that harmony going and that unity going in the team as well. So Tomori, I think, would be a fantastic player to see come in, and it would, of course, give us one of the youngest centre-back pairings in the Premier League as well, in Sven Botman and Tomori, something that AC Milan were trying to get when they were trying to buy Sven Botman, until, of course, we beat them to the punch and brought Sven Botman to Newcastle. Another player that is being linked to Newcastle, of course, is Arda Güler, the Turkish Messi, as he is being dubbed. And of course, his parents really want him to join Newcastle United, and they've said that they will only speak to Newcastle United. So that is a player that I do believe will be wearing a Newcastle United shirt come the end of this transfer window. But I don't know if he'll be one for the now or if he'll be one for the future. He has been doing some fantastic stuff out in the Turkish league, of course, for Fenerbahce. So maybe he could be a one for the now and for the future, but that is, of course, something that we will have to wait and see as time goes on that one. And a few other players that are being linked to Newcastle as well. There's Lavia of Southampton. Again, I wouldn't mind seeing somebody like that come to Newcastle United. I have talked about them on the channel already. Saicedo is another one that's being linked, of course, because of the Dan Ashworth links to Brighton. So, of course, there's going to be loads and loads of people being linked to Newcastle United. We're just going to have to wean through, of course, the load that are out there. There's well over 500 players that's been linked to Newcastle United now, and there was one massive player that I would absolutely love to see join Newcastle United, and that is Lionel Messi. I mean, you can't say no to the GOAT, the greatest of all time, probably one of the greatest footballers in modern day football is Lionel Messi. You know, yes, he may be older, but he's still got that God-given gift, you know, and I think he could do something for it The only problem with that one is a lot of people are saying that his wages would be astronomical. And I think, to be honest, there is a caveat to that in the fact that he is being linked to a move to Saudi Arabia and to the clubs that are owned by PIF. So there could be a possibility in there where, of course, that Saudi Arabian team buys Lionel Messi and then they loan him out to us, and we don't pay anything towards the wages, or we pay a little bit towards the wages. So that could be a caveat there that we could look into, of course. But it seems as though his father wants him to go back to Barcelona, and it looks like they are working on a workaround to find a way to get him back into La Liga to play for Barcelona. But Newcastle have talked to his father, so that in itself is absolutely massive when you consider, that just last season, before we played this season just gone there, that we were in a relegation battle. Now we're in the Champions League, and now, we're having talks with the greatest of all time, or the greatest in modern day history, in Lionel Messi. That is absolutely massive. But let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below about, of course, all of the players that have been mentioned in this video. Like I say, there's quite a few players, and we'll probably be here all day naming the players that we've been linked to so far in this window. There's well over 500 players that's been linked to it, but them are just a few of the players that I would like to see join Newcastle United. Let us know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Who would you like to see join Newcastle United and be wearing a black and white shirt come the end of the transfer window? And also keep an eye out, like I say, for the other video where I'll be talking about players that I think will be leaving Newcastle United in this transfer window. Until next time, remember to hit that like, share, subscribe to the channel as well. We're on the road to 2K subscribers, so if we can hit that, that would be absolutely fantastic. And a big thank you for the recent support towards the channel as well. We've been gaining quite a few followers of late, quite a few subscribers of late to the channel as well. So a big massive thank you. I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. And how are the lads?